Okay, folks, what's going to actually happen is I'm going to run through some quick slides because you can read. So you can read through those slides, but I'm going to warm you up with the slides. Even though these guys are here and we're going to play with you guys in terms of movement preparation, I'm going to have everybody come on down to the floor, okay? Because I want you to be active too, and if you want to be an observer, just be an observer. If you want to be active, be an active. But you do want to come down here when I give you a call down. Now, first off, the first movement preparation document was created about a decade ago and is on the Canadian Sport for Life website. It is a pretty good document from about ages 6 on up. And I'm going to give you the link to the one that's for Canadian Soccer Association because you have more similarities than you have differences, interesting enough, and that document's finished. We're in the process of making the basketball specific one, and we're almost done it. Be out shortly in the future. What you need to know is I'm on the Canadian Sport for Life LTAD expert panel group, so I actually design LTAD for the world, basically. This is the current version 2.0, which you can download from the Canadian Sport for Life website. The new version will look something, and I'm not supposed to show it to you, but don't look on the camera. This is the new version of LTAD 3.0, which will be coming out shortly, which no longer has ageism built into it and things like that. But the important part is it's also created a new process for you to think about, and you get these slides. But in the end of the day, this process slide actually think about how do people actually enter into your sport and how do they exit and why do they exit. And we've already done research on this to try to figure this out. And you'll get these into the future. Now, one of the reasons why we created movement preparation is related to this injury, the anterior cruciate ligament injury. And the presentation that was immediately before us was very, very, very relevant. And I'm going to be very specific and use the terms that you just learned. Sex is my biological origin, male or female. It is a binary. Gender is how you want to be treated or how I treat you. And it's really important to separate those two things out because young women who play basketball and or soccer and or any cutting sport, they pop their knee 6 times more frequently than boys. 6 times. So for every ACL injury a boy gets, there's 6 girls that get them. Now what's important to understand here is that it's not due to the biological origins of sex that determines the ACL injury difference. It is not a sex-based difference. It's what's called gender mistreatment, meaning that we, as a collective group in society, mistreat females. So that's not based on your sex not your sex biological, but how you're being treated. So what you just heard moments ago is really relevant, not only in the context of treating people fairly, which is a critical thing to do, it's also treating them appropriately for their physical participation. So we have found that by using approaches like movement preparation, the injury rate from 6 to 1 goes down to 1.5 to 1. Now the difference between the sexes might be 1.5 to 1, but the 6 to 1 is mostly due to gender mistreatment, and I'll explain that to you very clearly. The nice thing about it is if you use movement preparation, you get a bunch of things. I'm not going to show you this. This is soccer data, but you can read this, and this is an important concept to understand. In the middle paragraph there, it tells you that a girl will pop her left leg twice as frequently as her right. Now, as far as I know, females have what's called a Q angle, which means their hips are wider, their knees comes together. The Q angle is not the explanation because of the fact that your Q angle is symmetrical. How on earth can it make the left side pop more than the right? Females who have a menstrual cycle, during your menstrual cycle, the hormones change the ligamentous laxity, how stiff the ligaments are. That's true. But I'm quite sure, as anybody in this room knows, that that doesn't change your right leg versus your left leg. The menstrual cycle is on both sides, right? So those differences used to say that's why girls pop their knees more frequently than boys, but now we know that is how we treat girls in practice. And we do not treat them the same. And that results in this injury. which can be reduced dramatically using this approach. That's only one reason to do it. There's the costs. It's very expensive, never mind the personal tragedy that you go through after ACL injury. Less than 10% of people after ACL rupture return to play at the level that they're at before. So that's a 90% failure rate. So we aren't doing this just for preventing ACL injuries. We're doing this in a much bigger way. And movement preparation, abbreviated as MP, is very important to do these things, which you can read later, and I encourage you to do so because I want you to feel what it feels like to go through movement preparation. The basic slides to warm you up are these. Movement preparation is a component of training that is there to enhance performance of the athletes at the same time as create durable people. And durable means mentally durable, physically durable people. And I'll explain that to you as we go. Why is this important? Because there's a lot of injury prevention programs in the world today, and you know what they do? They sell you, get rid of ACL injuries. And that's cool, or get rid of concussions. The problem is, as coaches, I work in high performance sport at the highest level in this world, and as a result of that, my job is to enable coaches to make performance through the roof and get rid of injuries. But if I give you a program that just gets rid of injuries, you know what most coaches do? But if I give you a program that makes your athletes get way better and gets rid of injuries, you go, okay, I'll do that. I get it. I get that. So we designed a program called Movement Preparation that does both those things. And it even modifies the psychology of people as well. This is the original document that you could download off of physicalliteracy.ca. And it was created here in Manitoba, this program, and is now adopted worldwide in many places. I just returned from Swedish football, who adopted it at their level, which is a nice thing. That's a big deal for them. And in Canada, it's used by many different sports. So again, I've articulated to you that the two goals of movement preparation are enhanced durability and enhanced performance. And it basically uses just good science to do that. One thing I need to tell you is that what's the difference between movement preparation and warm-up? When I was growing up, 1976, 7, I kind of went into university. And at the time at university, entering at the University of Manitoba, they taught me that you break a sweat. Go break a sweat. And then that was warming up. Does that make sense to you? And you know what? The idea there is that if you break a sweat, your body's ready to do some training, or your body's ready to do some competition. Make sense? That's old school warm-up. Then somebody said, dynamic warm-up. They added the word dynamic in front of warm-up, which is really meaningless because everything's dynamic that we do. It's like, okay, but you know why they said that? They said, I'm not only going to get the body ready, I'm going to get the brain ready. I'm going to prepare the brain and the body to do competition right away, or get the brain and body ready to do movement right away in my training sessions, okay? So that acknowledged the fact that it's important to get both your brain and this corporeal part of your body ready for movement, and that's true today. What movement preparation does is different than that. It says that if I do something today, which we're going to do with these guys in a minute, and I do it every practice, there's going to be an accumulated benefit to these guys. As opposed to just thinking about doing warm-up for training or competition, it says if I do it all the time, I'm going to get accumulated benefit. And that's the difference. So it's not just warm-up for today, it's warm-up for tomorrow and the next month or so. Does it make sense? Everybody good? Okay. You can read these slides later on. So I always do this. I crossed it out soccer and put basketball in there. But it's really interesting. As coaches, you should answer these two questions. And if you ever employ a strength and conditioning person in your life, you had better know the list of the key physical characteristics that are important for a basketball player and the key psychological characteristics that are important for a basketball player. I'm going to show you the next two slides of what all the top soccer coaches in the world say for soccer, and let's just see how similar it is. You guys ready? See that list? Would you mostly agree for basketball? Yeah, it's kind of the same. You may not use the same words, or you may have different words for it, but yeah, I want that physically. And how about psychologically? this is going to be identical, and you guys should be reading this. This is what they want right here, guys, from you. Confident, focused, and determined, able to manage your emotions, a goal setter and executes on plan, punctual. Commitment, control over the outcome, you understand that, and you're aware of people in your environment. That's what almost every coach wants. So those are the things that you want, and that's really critical. So in the end of the day, movement preparation helps to get both these goals and those goals. And that's what it does. So the term durability is new to you, and we're going to finish on this slide. I argue to you to not use negative frame. A negative frame means falls prevention. That would be a negatively framed term, because that's implying that falls are dangerous. Falls are fun. That's called judo. Have you heard of judo? You'd say, no falls allowed in judo. Well, okay, well, that doesn't make any sense. Falls prevention is a negatively framed term. Durability is a positive term because it says, let's get good mental characteristics and good physical characteristics and make our kids durable like a good set of genes. That's what you want. And the nice thing about durability is that it includes all of these concepts. So the better coach you are at understanding everything, like sleep, and I'm going to give you a fact done in basketball. Gentlemen, listen to this. You ready? If you add 1 hour of sleep a night, no matter how long you sleep, just 1 hour a night for 4 nights in a row, your accuracy improves by 10%. That's 1 in 10 free throws that are accomplished. If you shorten your sleep cycle by 1 hour a night, you lose 10%. That's a 20% range just due to sleep. We barely talk about that, but if you're a physical literacy person like I am, and you're a durability person like I am, you think about all of these things and how it influences their lives. And that's really important to understand that. So we are here to create durable people. That's what coaches do. That's a good sell job. That's my job, to create a durable person, mentally, physically, and even socially. And our previous lecture on that is critical to embrace, not just listen to. So movement preparation has 5 components. I'm going to take you through most of them, not all of them. You're going to get this. This is called an interactive PDF, and if you touch that right there, you get a video. And so this shows levels 1, 2, 3 of movement preparation for soccer. And we have levels 1 to 8 already. And when we implement this, we see dramatic improvements in performance and dramatic reductions in injury. Make sense? So we're going to go through that. How is this different than regular warm-up? I'm going to point out something to you here. We have 5 sections: dynamics, accelerations, cutting, pivoting, ladder work, and core. This entire thing right here takes 19 minutes at level 3. At level 1, 12 minutes. If you have a 9-year-old basketball team, you might see them 3 times a week. 2 training sessions, 1 game perhaps. That's soccer's model. And do you want to give 12 to 19 minutes up from technical tactical? Yes or no? That's up to you. But that's what this was designed to do. It's fast, quick, bam, bam, bam. And you'll see, I can't run you through it entirely, but if I ran this entire system right up, the very first time with these guys, there'd be sweaty, drippy little messes at the end of it, but also get a whole bunch of other benefits. So, let me see if there's another slide here. So you get this. Now, I'm going to also show you stuff here. Just look quickly. You're going to get all of these slides, which explains every single component of every single element inside of this. And by the way, inside of this PDF that you're going to get, right here, if you click on these links right there, it'll download this presentation. So it's a one-stop encyclopedia for you. You can hold it in your iPad and go, okay, this is what we do next. Okay, so here we go. Let's everybody, if you wish, I prefer if you do, because this separation creates anxiety for me. I like people being relatively close. Why don't you come on down. So what I normally do at this stage is I teach you what the difference is, and this is really critical, the difference between physical literacy, between strength and conditioning thinking and physical literacy enriched exercise. You guys ready to do this? Okay. So you guys, down in your bellies. You guys, if you wish to participate, down in your bellies. Oh, you'll see. I'll explain. Don't you worry, man. Yeah, down in your bellies. Yeah. Come on. Go. So here we go, folks. So what I'm going to do right now is so the game here is I need you to listen carefully because I'm instructing here, and I want you to follow along with what's happening. The people in the audience watching, do watch the range of abilities in this room. So you guys ready? Here we go. I want everybody to do a front plank. Go. Yeah, do one. Oh, that's so beautiful. And belly down. Take it easy. So in the strength and conditioning world, do you know what they might say to you? They might say, I want you to do a 2-minute front plank. And if you did that, at about a minute, the veins in your neck will start popping out. And a minute and a half, your eyes are going to turn into lasers and try to cut me in half. Make sense? There's nothing in the world that needs a 2-minute front plank. I'm not saying don't do that. That will improve strength and endurance of a muscle, but it won't do brain training. Controlling my core while I move my limbs is all about training my brain on how to do that, as opposed to having strong muscles or great endurance muscles. That's good, but if you have a brain that can't control them, you're in trouble. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do planks, guys, that are actually physical literacy enriched planking. You guys ready? And front plank. And ready, fall, look at me, and up, down, up, down, up, down, belly down. Now, you'll notice, belly down. You'll notice here, I'm actually having fun. The number 1 and 2 determinants of people staying in sport are fun and friendship. Not a discussion. Sport participation numbers drop off after the age of 12 because we forget to put the fun component in. I'm doing exercise that's fun as opposed to, I don't want to do this anymore. Okay, next one we're going to do, right in front of you is a puppy, and it's called a Bichon Frise. It's a dog with silky hair, okay? And it's in front of you, and you're going to do a plank with your legs as wide as they are right there. You're going to shift your weight to one arm, and you're going to point to the nose of this beautiful dog. It's been trained by Cesar Millan, so it will not bite you. And it's a virtual dog, so it can't bite. Okay? So everybody along with me, pretend you've got the dog in front of you now. Front plank. Take your hand off and point to the nose of the dog and tickle the dog's nose. Tickle that dog. And switch hands. Go to the other hand and tickle, and switch. And tickle, and switch, and belly down. Now, I'm a professor in physical therapy for 31 years. This is not physio core. This is not for therapy, this is performance core. Therapy core, way over here. Performance core over here. Ability, disability. Completely different concepts. Now, the next one I'm going to do, I like to be, and it was Dr. Reese? Is that his name? Yeah. Is he still here? No, he took off. That's okay. I was going to do something for you guys. You guys ready? You can imagine being Superman or Superwoman. You can choose whatever you want to be. Don't tell me, just choose. Now, what's going to happen here is you're going to go like this, and you're going to do that right arm pointer without tickle, and then you're going to take your left foot off. So that's the opposite to your right. Okay? So everybody, front plank, and right arm off, left foot off. Oh, there we go. And switch. And switch. And belly down. Now you're noticing these guys over here, these folks over here, they got some job to do on improving that core, and this will help them because you know what? If you have a better core, you shoot better, you don't get pushed off the ball easily, and you run better, and you cut better. Do you follow me on this? So we're going to do another one. Everybody, side plank. Side plank. There we go. And no, elbow down though, not hand down. So elbow down, side plank. Hand up to the sky, please. Bend your elbow to 90 degrees, make a fist, make it an angry fist, and then switch over and roll over to the other side without putting your hip down. Hand up to the sky, bend your elbow 90 degrees, snap roll over, and then roll over again, and stop. So watch this, guys. I'm going to take you through this exercise program. You can put your belly down. And what's going to happen here, I would do this. A physical literacy enriched core would be like this. It takes 5 minutes a day, and if you do it every day for 5 minutes, you get to level 3 in a month and a half. Women's national team is level 2. At Cirque du Soleil, where I work, training all of those 1,400 performers, which you know have ridiculous core, we have level 1 to 14 core. National team Olympic athletes, level 2 or 3. Cirque du Soleil, minimum 8. You follow me on this? So we're going to do a fun level 2 move together. We're not there yet, but I'm going to do level 2. Everybody do a side plank, but with your hand down like this. Instead of your elbow, hand down. This is tougher. Hand down, foot down, hand to the sky. Now, let's make a starfish, foot to sky. Starfish, 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 and down, belly down, quick. I'm a Manitoban, so you know what this is? This is a bison. So we're going to go like this and do a starfish. Patrick, pat the starfish. Then we're going to go start, but we're going to do it in like the regular way, like this on the ground. But hang on, that's cool too. You're going to do this, and then I'm going to say bison. Then you're going to do this. So everybody do your star plank. Star plank. Do it. No, not on the ground. In the air, like this. Yeah, like this guy's doing. Star plank, star plank, star plank, star plank, and bison. And then other star plank. Come on. And bison, star plank. And bison, star plank. Good. And stop. So what you're realizing here, coaches, I'm training your brain to control your trunk while your limbs move. That's very different than just training strength and endurance. I'm actually getting both done with this routine. Now, I don't have time to take you through the whole routine because we have to do some other stuff here. But what this is called is physical literacy enriched exercise. It's not classic strength and conditioning thinking. Strength and conditioning thinks about strength, endurance, body composition, flexibility, and aerobic fitness. Those are the 5 health-related fitness measures. It does not consider brain training. This is brain training at the same time as muscle body training. Make sense? Okay, we're going to do one more just for fun. Everybody sit like me, bend your knees to 90 degrees. Toes up to the sky. Don't go out like that, like this, 90 degrees. Then you're going to lean back so your heels come off the ground. Good. Now grab a grapefruit. A grapefruit is round, by the way, not triangular. It's round. You're going to put it in your center so nobody steals your grapefruit. You're going to put it to the sky and get some sun on it. Ripen that grapefruit. Good on ya. Center, side, touch. Center, sky, center, side, center. Sky, center, side, center. Sky, center, side, center. Sky, center, side, center. Keep up with the old guy. Sky, center, side, center. Sky, center, side, center. Sky, center, side, sky. There you go. So once again, I almost had 100% participation with smiles on their faces while working out. Interesting. That's dealing with the psychological part of the person at the same time as I'm dealing with the physical. Make sense? All of these routines were designed that way, to improve psychological as well as physical. Everybody good? Okay, let's come on over here. You go, coaches, come right over here. I'm going to face this ladder right here. Okay, and sit down really nice and tight like you're uncomfortably close to each other and friendly. In the circus world, we touch. This is what we do. But in this world here, I've got an agility ladder here. And you gentlemen can come on over here and have a seat, though, right there. Just come closer so I can call upon you in a second. This is an agility ladder, and this is an interesting agility ladder because it can slip. So we call this an agility ladder with consequences. Make sense? So we don't want to make this, it's okay to learn how to slip, because the only way you learn how to recover from slipping is slipping. You can't just say, hey, don't slip. They're going to slip. If there's some sweat on the surface, they'll slip. You need to learn that. You don't typically plan that right at the beginning, but these agility ladders are fairly critical. There's not a study in the world that shows that doing agility ladders improves agility on the field of play. There is studies in the world that clearly illustrate that if you do this, you get better movement control through your brain. That's about it. Why do we do it? Because it's fun, it's engaging, and I get footwork patterns that are really cool. How much it transfers onto the field of play, don't know. But it doesn't mean it's not useful. You don't like agility ladders, don't use them. Replace that section with something else. You got them now, but I'm going to show you why you might want to keep them, because it's not just about creating speed, agility, quickness. It's also about team building. It's also about creating footwork patterns that are symmetrical from my right side to my left side. Now, when you guys, remember you did up, up, down, down, up, up, down, down, remember you did that? Every single one of you put your right arm up first almost, then the left arm after. If I would have switched that on you, you would have realized that your ability to push off with your left and right is completely different. You would have seen you're asymmetrical. I need both of those in this sport and others. I could have used that. This is feedback mechanism. I know whether I'm doing it right or wrong. So you guys, half of you only, half of you stand up and come onto this ladder. Okay? And what they're going to do, just half, that's good. What they're going to do, and I'm going to do something funky here. You guys watch, mimic me. Ready to mimic? Out, don't go yet though. Out, out, in, out, out, in, out, out, in, out, out. In, as slow as I'm doing it, okay? But hold it, gentlemen. Grab the hips of the person in front of you. We're going to do choo-choo train style. Ready? You're the head of the train. You're the caboose. Yeah, okay. Don't go too fast because you're a team, right? In, out, out. Ready? And to my cadence. Ready, go. In, out, out. 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 And stop. That's good. Good. Yeah, fun, eh? So what was this happening there, guys? Now, I made it the fun style of that. And they're actually learning. Do you see how hard they were looking down? Don't step on my friend's new kicks, right? Don't destroy the kicks. But am I teaching spatial awareness there? Am I getting team bonding? Yeah? Hey, why don't you guys turn the other way? And you know what we're going to do? We're going to do backwards, but you guys look at me. You're going to go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 backwards. Give it, yeah, waltzing. There we go, and go. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. There we go. Excellent, and stop, guys. They're doing really good. Yeah, hit them on back there. Good job, guys. Well, now he's doing that style, right? Now here's what's really important. If you have a beginner situation, it is actually inappropriate. Who was doing the 1, 2, 3 seconds ago? We're just in here, like the regular? Okay, just zip down. No, forward. Go forward. Go, just you. 1, 2, 3, yeah, there we go. And when people are really concentrated, it kind of frees their arms like they're Mr. Robotos, right, etc. Now, that's kind of interesting. It's all fun, and I'm not against that. But if you have a beginner class, if this was a phys ed class, and I take this person to illustrate the movement, I'm actually creating an example that the person believes will not actually be achievable for them. So I'm creating social inhibition. I'm creating a person who doesn't want to participate. That's not the example. That's the example at the end. And many people say, oh, let's show what it really looks like. So if you're in a phys ed class, not necessarily here, you've taken 20% of people saying, I don't want to participate anymore. You're doing a mental injury. Why would you do that? The correct move is to say, you guys follow along with me. And you know what? See this guy's shoes right here? See the orange right there? The second person doesn't start till the first person passes his shoes. Everybody good? Why did I do that? Because time pressure and peer pressure will ruin the ability to learn a movement skill. If I can feel a person right behind me, that's peer pressure and time pressure. So we're going to space that way. You guys ready? But you're going to follow along with me. Ready? And here we go. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and stop right where you are. Perfect. Yeah, see, they can't resist going faster. That's good. So here's the game, guys. Their motor pattern actually changed when I slowed them down. They actually weren't as smooth as they were moving when they were faster. Being able to move at all speeds is important in this game. And also listening to now, I was not providing instruction. I was providing temporal cueing. Can you chuck me that ball? Any way you like. There we go. So if I'm learning how to dribble for the very first time and I'm dribbling and you say my name, I stop. If I'm dribbling and you say my name and I can look at you, that means I've got basic dribbling intrinsic to my body. It's automatic. That means I can layer on complexity. You don't layer on complexity until they've got it automatic, because if you give verbal cues while people are moving, other than temporal cues, you're destroying the ability to learn the movement. We talk way too much. Let them learn on their own. They need to have enough repetitions that they can learn something. What you're going to do is everybody's going to go like this. You guys are actually just going to follow along with me. So put your hands on your hip like bunnies do. Like bunnies. All rabbits do this. I've seen it. And then you're going to do this. You're going to do out. Do this. Out. Cross right. Out. Cross left. Out. Cross right. Out. Cross left. Out. Got it? They look so good. Almost Irish dancing. That's cool. So what we're going to do now is we're going to come on here and going to go out, cross right, out, cross left, out, cross right, out, cross left. And remember, don't crowd your partner in front of you. Give them 3 ladder rungs. Go. Out, cross right, out, cross left, out, cross right. There you go. Keep it going. And you can take your hands on your hips when you want. Makes it harder, actually, doesn't it? Bunnies know things that we don't know. See?
You can take your hands off your hips.
Yeah. No, you can't. You can't. It's too hard. He's totally focused on doing this. Now, interesting enough, that's one of the moves we do through there. What's the relevance onto the basketball field of play? Have no clue. Does it actually create some strength and ability in this plane that we don't have normally? Yes. Is that a relevant thing to develop? If I actually take, can you pull here for a second? I don't know where you're from, but you look like you speak French. Tu parles français, mademoiselle? Oui. Anyway, can you actually both come over here and do a side plank facing the camera, both of you? Yeah, side plank facing the camera. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, do it. That's it. Yeah, sideways. So, yeah, perfect. Yeah. Now what I want you to do is you're going to take the hip, the foot right here, this foot that's on top, and you're going to go heel to sky and down. 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 And stop. Everybody, I'm training gluteus medius there. Not maximus, medius. You can go down for a second. So is gluteus medius an important muscle? Yeah, because when you land on this foot, this muscle right here prevents you from doing this. And if that happens, you can pop your knee. But you can make this muscle as strong as you want. And if the brain doesn't know how to control it while you move, things go wrong. You guys ready? So everybody stand up now, and we're going to do this together. Yeah, there's watch the camera there. Everybody stand on one foot. And if you have to put your foot down, guys too, if you have to put your foot down, you tap it down for a second. Now watch this. Knee high, straight out, claw back. 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 Straight out, knee high, push down. Straight out, knee high, push down. Straight out, knee high, push down. Bend your knee to 90 degrees. Pull it forward so you can see your kneecap. Pee in a hydrant and down. Pee in a hydrant and down. Pee in a hydrant and down. Pee in a hydrant, kick your friend in the butt, pull it back and down. Pee in a hydrant, kick your friend in the butt, pull it back and down. And stop. Where are you feeling that? The opposite leg, right? You're feeling gluteus medius go, hey, hello. What was I doing? I could have been doing can-can dance stuff for all I care. Why was that relevant? I was teaching your brain how to control your hips while you move. But also I was doing strength and endurance training of your hips. Do you follow me? Physical literacy enriched exercise. It's a very different way of looking at things. So we've got about 15 or 20 different ladder drills, and everybody can do this. Watch your guys over there. Everybody stand like this. 1 foot. Bend your knee, hip, and ankle. That's a triple flexion. And what I want you to do is jump over to the other side. Good. Do it once. Good. Yeah, don't go super far, please. And then we jump over and land. Everybody good. And stop. What's that called? The skater's jump. What's that for? To develop power. Is that good? Check. Power is not as important as power with accuracy. So you know what we do, but not with these ladders? We actually have 2 ladders, and we have a person go from one ladder and jump over into the other ladder, so they have to add targeting to power. That's part of the drills. Because then I'm training the brain how to control my body in space. I get both power development and accuracy at the same time. Everybody good? Okay. Now what we're going to do is everybody's going to go back. Everybody, if you're going to participate, go back to that red line. We'll call that the field marker. And can you guys pull this off the field way over there? Just run it away somewhere. Yeah, just go. Just run. So we're going to do a little bit of dynamic warm-up. And there's enough room here, so give yourself some elbow room. You're going to be going this way. And this is the first part of movement preparation. And if you're going to participate, go on the red line. If you're going to watch, don't go on the red line. Okay, here we go. When I say go, you're going to jog up to half court. And when you turn around, you're going to do something different. Okay, and I'm going to tell you what it is. Jog to me as a team. Turn around and do butt kicks, butt kicks, butt kicks, butt kicks. Okay, and jog it back out towards me. And when you get here, face this direction and then do side shuffles back. Side shuffle back. And side shuffle back to me. Good. And stop. Now what we're going to do is everybody's going to turn around and face that wall. And this is a progression. I would actually do this. You guys, you have to be beside each other. I just did a safety check over there. What's going to happen is you're going to go very slowly backwards until you reach this line and look for it and stop. Ready? Come on. Watch out for the people beside you and stop. Teaching backwards running is an essential part of life, and we need to do it everywhere. Many phys ed teachers never do this because of fear of liability issues, which is actually harming the child. You're directly harming a person by not teaching this. This is a basic human skill that all people require. So what we're going to do now is you're going to run this way, not yet, slowly get to me, and then you're going to immediately turn around and run backwards, like I did, slowly. Ready? Come on, let's do it. And backwards, halfway, guys. There we go. Excellent. Yeah, that's good. They did it right. That's fine. I don't mind. So we're going to do it again. These guys interpreted that, because they do play basketball a lot, as run forward, spin around, and then run backwards, which is good. Let's do it all together. Watch your people around you and go. Run and spin around. Good. Excellent. And stop. So everybody cuddle in really quick. Come on. We don't got a lot of time here. I want to make sure. And down on your butts. Quick. So if you look at the dynamic warm-up sequence in there, it's got a lot of this built into it. You can learn it on your own. When I'm working with teams, you know what I do? I might do core with them on one day, and then the next time, add dynamic warm-up. Many of you are doing dynamic warm-up already. If it's done with purpose, it's meaningful. If they're just going through the paces, it's useless. You need to give them constant progressions. We have ones, and I'll show you, but I'd have to take you all through it. I'd go hop, hop, leap. Hop, hop, leap. Do you follow what I'm doing there? But then I can make big leaps, small hops. I can make small hops, small leaps. Big hops, big leaps, right? And then I can actually have them have really good landing ability and propulsion ability. Do you follow me on that? But every single time I work with a team, I change that up a bit. They're getting better, because you know what? The number one time you pop your knee is in a leap. And leap is from going from one foot to the other. Almost all ACL injuries are in that move. If you don't practice, you don't get better at it. But you don't make big hops and leaps. You don't go giant distance, you start slow. So I'm going to teach you one more thing here. Can you stand up for a sec? So this is a pylon. It's called a, no, just go back there, go back there. Yeah. That's a pylon. What I want you to do is you're going to come up to this pylon, don't do it quite yet, and you're going to go like this. Plant, and go backwards to where you are. Okay, go for it. Plant, go backwards. Now what I want you to do is come here and go the other way. Plant, go backwards. Okay, follow me on this? One was a shift from right to left, and one was from left to right. We do hundreds of these in these drills. The reason why we do that is so that I can make you become aware that you're moving symmetrically, cutting right and cutting left, which is part of your game. I can even watch it, you'll become aware of that. Then you can change it yourself. And if you actually do this with the team, you'll see that the players don't have equal ability to cut right and left. This is one of the foundation parts that we have for reducing ACL injuries. It also makes you a better cutter. And then I can change the cutting drills and all that stuff. You can read that on your own. It's very explicit in there. You getting the ideas of how this works? I can't show it to you all at once. But what I do is I do core one day, maybe ladders the next, and then after a while I can do all 5 parts together in 19 minutes. That's what you do. But you don't go, let's do the whole thing today. You actually put 1 or 2 together, and then you do another one, and you do another one. These guys get bored doing the same thing over and over and over again. You need to inject something that keeps them going and fun. And I showed you some of those variations. So last one we're going to do right here, because I don't want to run out of time, but I want you to get a feel for what movement preparation is. Everybody back on the line. And everybody, I want you to face the Coca-Cola sign right over there. I'm sponsored by Coke, so I get 5 cents every time I say that. I'm joking. So what you're going to do is put your hands on your hips, guys, gals, folks. Hands on your hips. What you're going to now do is go twisty 1, twisty 2. Do it. Good. Now everybody face that way. Keep facing that way. Get on the red line, please. On the red line. Now what you're going to do is when I say, guys on the line, you're going to go twisty 1, twisty 2, and then you're going to run over to here and then run back, okay? Just to me. Ready? And go. Twisty 1, twisty 2, run to me. And now back. Don't go too fast. And I'll face the same way. And this is a big point now. This is a big point. I want you to do twisty 3 and run. Ready? Go. Good. Whoa. I got some raptor material here. Nonetheless, guys, everybody cuddle up again really close. Cuddle, 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 and sit on down quickly. I'm going to explain our acceleration drills that we are doing. I could have made you go faster and faster. Some people really wanted to move fast, which I liked. I would have controlled the speed a little bit more if this was an actual session. But what I did, and this is really important, the person who does the fastest 40 meters starting this way is rarely the fastest person on the court. And I'll tell you why. Because actually in basketball you have to push off your left and push off your right. What I was doing there is teaching you without telling you to learn how to push it, because twisty 2, I pushed off my right. Twisty 3, I pushed off my left. You follow? Because I'm pretty sure in basketball you don't go like this, and ready to go. You don't set the same way every single time. Track and field does that, and that's okay. But you follow? So the trick there is to learn to make a person feel comfortable pushing off. And I'll actually do other fun things. And matter of fact, let's do it with these guys. You guys watch, turn this way. You guys, on the red line, on your bellies facing me. I think I have 1 or 2 more minutes left. Quick, 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 quick. On the line, on your belly. On your bellies, on your bellies. Now watch what I'm doing here. Spatial awareness. You guys look at me. I need your eyes on my hands, guys. If I go like this, you're going to do a log roll that way. So let's give it a try. Everybody look, ready? You might run over each other, which will be fun. Ready? Go. Oh, they're good. They're good. Now you guys ready? No, watch carefully. Ready? Yeah, good, good, good. We let the fun happen. Keep looking at me, guys. You guys ready? This time, when I go like this, that means you get up and you accelerate to the other side and get on your belly quickly. So ready? Now, I progressed that too fast because I would have just done that and go. Then I would have done that and go. Then I teach them to follow my movements and go. What am I doing? Spatial awareness, collision avoidance, acceleration from an unstable position. Do you follow me on this? Is it safe? Pretty much. Safe is not what we're after. We're trying to minimize the risk to the lowest level reasonable. It's impossible to be safe in basketball. Injury is not possible to prevent. Oh, yes, it is. Don't play basketball. Take an iPad and sit at home. Well, then you'll get heart disease. So what I want you to see here is with these guys, look at how nicely they're positioned waiting to do it again. Isn't that great? It's like, wonderful. You guys ready? We'll do one more just for fun. Now, you guys, don't move until I'm finished my hand sequence this time. You guys ready? Good, and it's like, it can't wait to be commanded again. So what's happening here is that exercise adherence is now very high, correct? And I wouldn't be saying that so verbally to them if they were with me right now, but I'm using a trick to engage them into the game of practicing movement skills. And I would actually modify some of the things there, etc. We can do hundreds of variations. So the recipe that I'm going to give you guys is just a recipe. If you're a chef, modify the recipe. If you like following recipes and you're just a cook, follow the recipes. You get it? You will be getting one of those with more basketball-specific moves into the future because of the pivoting elements, etc. I already did some filming already, but I haven't got all the film with basketball stuff on to fill that diagram yet. Soon. Make sense? Does it integrate? Does it resonate? Does it make sense? I don't know. I'm at 2:30 for finish. I got a little bit more time? Okay. Oh, that's how much more time I have? Oh, it's like a countdown timer. I really like that. Sorry, I'm kind of like Blue Squirrel. Oh, Blue Squirrel. Okay, so we're going to do one other element here. So we did ladders. You kind of get that. We did core. You kind of get that. We did the acceleration game, including some of the rollovers. We did that. We did some cutting behavior, but only a little bit of it. And we also, the only other thing that I'm missing, what am I missing? Core, ladders, dynamic warm-up, yeah. So I think we covered almost everything with a little bit. So what I'm going to do is, you don't mind bringing over 10 cones. I can see some cones right there. Yeah, perfect. Sorry, I interrupted him. He was texting somebody. That's okay. So I'm going to set up something called the weave, and you guys are going to understand this, and we'll finish this one on the weave. So you'll notice how precise I'm putting these down. And if you don't put them down to exact precision, you're going to mess up the entire world. So there is no precision here. I'm going to note I need 4 volunteers of you guys. Yeah, come on. Yeah. 4 volunteers. I'm going to point out to you that if you step on this thing, it can slip. Everybody good with that? Can I throw these at you? They stay mostly together. Men without hats. Very cool. That was circus trick. Come on over here, and you're going to stand right behind me. All 4 of you. You'll notice that there's 5 sets of pylons. Everybody see them? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you do 4, it won't work. If you do 5, it'll work. If you do 3, it'll work. You're going to come down here, and not yet, and you're going to go plant, back pedal. See the diagonal? Plant. I missed that one. Plant, diagonal. Plant, back pedal. And then start it up again. Okay? You don't start, go diagonals. I'll help you through this. Go slow first, learn slow. Come on. Plant, go back on a diagonal. Come on. Plant, there we go. Come on. Plant, no, slow it down. Come on. Plant, go back. Don't go fast. And keep on going.
And go, come on to the back, come on back. You can just keep on going, right? Yeah, keep on going, yeah. Plant, plant, go back. You know, I love this, and stop, this is wonderful. We had actually crossovers there happening. Collision avoidance, no, not oops. That would be the advanced version of the drill. I could start both ends, right? Why wouldn't I do that? Collision is important, collision avoidance. How are you teaching collision avoidance? Oh, do it in the game, right? So now watch this. We're only going to go that way. So what's going to happen is I want everybody to imagine me as a Rugby 7 male. They're big strapping males, right? Whatever image you have on that. If I now go here, and this is a really important point, once people get this drill, which is learning how to do one way of cutting, I then start over the other way of cutting. Do you follow me? But that's not good enough, and then I go faster and faster and faster. And then you know what I do? I step like this. Because you need to be able to plant in front of me. So my progression is progress speed, then progress pressure. And just my fact that I'm standing here is a progression. So come on now. Plant, plant, past the pylon. No, yeah, go this way, come this way, and go back that diagonal. So you actually go for it. Plant, plant, go back. See what she did? Stop. She planted far away from me. She changed her behavior. You need to actually plant here and here. Pretend as if you're stepping on my toes, but don't step on them today. Normally I'd let you. So go slow though, come on. Plant, plant, no, plant, plant, go back. That's cute too, you could hug. Okay, do it, come on. Plant, plant, go back. There we go, come on. Plant, plant, go back, come on. Plant, plant, go back. Plant, plant, go back. You follow? They modify their behavior because of my presence. You teach a layup, cool. You teach a layup without pressure, you're not teaching a layup. Do you follow this? This actually allows me to change pressure, and watch, it's fun. This time you're gonna come, we're gonna do patty cake. Okay, come on. Plant, plant, go back. Oh, nice. Whatever patty cake you like. Oh yeah, how about 2 at a time? Plant, plant, go back. There we go, plant. Whoa, stop, right where you are. Now, see the adherence once again? I changed it up a bit. I could actually do contacts. All of a sudden now I can get hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of repetitions where they're learning how to do an appropriate cutting maneuver. If I start on that side and come this way, you know what it does? Teaches the opposite cut. We can do hundreds of variations on this. More and more repetitions means more and more motor control patterns. When I was going like this, plant, plant, that stopped the person from planting like this. And I could have actually taken 2 pieces of tape and said plant onto tape so I get a narrower cut. If they do that, they are actually better at cutting and less likely to injure. Everybody good on this? You get the idea? We'll try one more variation. Come on back in, guys. This time, this is a tough one. You're going to come up in here and you go plant, plant, turn into the pylon. Plant, plant, turn into the pylon. Okay, brain training. Ready? Come on. Plant, plant, turn in. Slow though, please. Plant, plant, turn in. Don't stop. Plant, plant, turn in. Fluid motion. Plant, plant, turn. Plant, plant, turn. There you go. Plant, plant, turn. Plant, plant, turn. And see, I'm not correcting them. I'm not doing any correction because I'm letting them learn by experience. I need a robust brain. If there was a safety issue here, I would step in. And I didn't even when you were coming back the opposite way, I didn't perceive a safety issue. I didn't. In a grade 5 class, I would have stopped it. Because it's not minimize all risks, it's minimize to acceptable risk. That's a completely different way of thinking. So we can do lots more things. Let's just go on that side for a second here. And you guys do the drill once again. Just let them do it. And go for it. Start it up. Yeah, and come this way. So now they're weaving the opposite direction. No, go, go, go. Okay, I have to help them. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. So you're going to go, oh, I see. Plant, plant, go backwards. Okay, don't spinorama. Come on. Plant, plant, go back diagonal. Plant, plant, go back diagonal. Plant, plant, go back diagonal. There we go. Plant, plant, go back. And stop. You'll notice that when he actually went going up to performance speed, he started doing stutter steps. And what do stutter steps do? They give away direction change. So I'm not just training injury prevention here, I'm training somebody to learn about how to control their movement so they can get a better deke at the same time as getting better cutting proficiency. Does that make sense to you? Now, I know this is a lot within an hour. This workshop is normally 4 hours long. But if you read and actually think this through, steal the parts that you love, dump the stuff you don't. Make sense? Everybody in the audience good with that? Useful demonstration? Questions? I got 5 minutes and 8 seconds left. Questions? Yep.
Is there a point where you load the movement skills so much that it exceeds the specificity of the game?
Oh, I see. So his question was, for the audience, he said, if I, so I'm going to paraphrase it, I'm not trying to achieve specificity to the game per se, but that is a very common cut in soccer. It is in basketball too, but it's not the most common cut. So what I've done with the new filming stuff is add basketball-related cutting maneuvers without the ball. So I would argue you go level 1, 2, 3 without the ball, because if you can't do it without the ball, how are you going to do it with? That's like layering on too much complexity. Then we add the ball later on, and that's a good idea in the end of the day. So any other questions, guys, from the audience here? Do you think you can use some of this? Yeah? And it's a very different way of thinking. So what you need to do as a group of coaches is learn about physical literacy. Canada's the country in the world that's on lead on physical literacy. It's part of LTAD. If you're doing LTAD, you must understand physical literacy. Download the physical literacy documents online. Go to sportforlife.ca. Learn what physical literacy is. So when I'm working with a team, and you kind of saw that with them, my job is not just to develop competence in movement, it's to develop confidence in movement. That means they have to own it. If you own the movement yourself, as opposed to being told what to do all the time, they own that movement, they possess it, they're more motivated to continue. I was doing that with them. And we would have got better and better and better at all our movements. We would still have fun, we'd still be as safe as possible. And I'd also create them symmetrical right and left. Most people don't know they're asymmetrical. And I'll show you what happened in soccer. I'm going to say this because I only know the soccer data. If we measure people's cutting ability, cut left, cut right, and I put an accelerometer on a person where I can measure that ability, if you can have a sit down because they can't see behind you. If you put the accelerometer on and measure that, when you put people through these drills, if this is perfect right cut and that's perfect left cut, and I measure NCAA Division I males, which are at the same competition level as NCAA Division I females, I measure the males, I find this. Right and left leg are very proficient, but there's a small difference from right to left. Everybody good? I measure the same competition level females. They are not at the same developmental level, even though they're the same age. Way lower proficiency, larger asymmetry. By doing these drills, you restore they don't have to be perfectly symmetrical, and they improve their proficiency, and when they do that, their ACL injury rates go from 6 to 1 to 1.5 to 1. If that's not a good enough reason, I don't know what is. But it's not just that, it's the ability to learn how to cut properly, deke properly, and become more proficient in the game. If you mix those two together, you do this thing 19 minutes in a row, this improves beep scores like ridiculously. You do all this in a row, and I'll finish off in 1 minute 34. We often do this entire movement preparation thing at the beginning of a practice, and I'm going to be elitist for a second here. I'm not always this way, because I do this same routine with kindergarten kids, by the way. No joke. The same stuff with kindergarten. But let's think about this. I'm going to be elite basketball. Everybody's going to do a beep test for me. And then what's going to happen? Yeah, see what they did? See that reaction? You heard fear in their minds. You guys, if they're with me, this is the way I do it. And I'm not joking. I'm not suggesting you guys do this, but I'll say it to you to illustrate a point. We do a beep test with a team, and I go like this, 2 minutes. And we do the beep test again, 2 minutes. They do the beep test again, because it's really not a long distance run. It's only like 1.5 kilometers times 3, 5K run, no biggie. Then they don't go like that every time I say that. They go, just one beep test? But that's the way they should think. But you know what I do? I do this cutting drill before the beep test. I do 3 beep tests in a row, and they have to be within 1 shuttle for each beep test. And then they go on to this Pylon system again, and they do weaving at slower speed because they're fatigued. How does the brain learn how to control the body when it's fatiguing unless you fatigue the body? But I don't go to 100%, I go at 50%. I have to slow you down. You go at 50%, and the next time I fatigued you, we go at 60%, 70%. Do you learn how to control your body in the face of fatigue? When I'm trail running, I will be trail running tomorrow on a very complicated trail, and we'll be moving fairly fast. On the way out for 6 kilometers, we're actually going to be on an agility ladder that has no ladders. It's crazy agility every single step for 20,000 steps. On the way back, I'm going to say to this young lady right here, who's going to come trail running with me tomorrow, I'm going to say to her, lift up your feet higher on the way back, because otherwise she's going to snag her toe on the rocks that she was not snagging her toe on, and therefore trip and lose her teeth. So I'll cue her to modify her behavior so that she learns how to move in the face of fatigue. But you don't do the Yahoo thing, which would be run movement preparation fresh, fatigue them, and then try to have them run at 100% again. That would be a violation of physical literacy rules. Everybody good with this? Okay, 0 seconds. So I think I've completed. Thank you very much for your attention, and thank you for your participation, guys.